It's Dave Lawrence, the Workforce Afternoon, and I hope you're doing good. We're having a lot of fun this week, and I'm glad you're part of what's happening. Today, one more guest joins us. There was no keeping him from being part of my 5-year anniversary week. He's been on the show 4 times before, and ironically, perfectly returns now for his 5th. He's one of rock's most famous guitarists, coming with a background in 2 of the biggest bands ever. I've been fortunate to have him on a bunch as an artist who has big popularity and history in this state, including one time getting him to do a surprise in-studio visit, which was a whole lot of fun. It's a great honor to welcome back a strong supporter of my show and a really good guy, my buddy from Journey, guitarist, songwriter, and even sometime vocalist, Neal Schon. Aloha, brother Neal.
Aloha. What's up, bro?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. In sunny California here today. Beautiful day here.
Nice. I'm glad things are good for you there. And a big aloha and mahalo for being back in this very special week here.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years on the air here.
Yeah, I know.
And you've been on like a bunch of different times.
Yeah, having a good time.
And it's been a while since your last appearance.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of change too in the landscape of Journey.
There's a bit, but you know, that's Journey. That's the way it's always been. If you take a look at all the people that have been in and out of this band, it's a mile long by now.
Yeah.
And we keep on touring, and people keep on coming because we put on a good show. And so it's, you know, it's par for the course, the way I look at it.
I love it. It goes with the name of the band, too, Journey.
We're in the midst of making another big change here, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet because we're doing a giant press release when it does happen.
Right.
But all I can tell you is things are very, very good.
No, I'm sure they are. So in between when I was last talking to you, you were doing the Generation CD, which we really strongly supported here, and then Steve cruised, and Jeff Scott Soto came in.
He came in, did the tour for us, and the tour, you know, ended, and we decided that he was great, good friend of mine. We're looking for a bit more of a tenor, you know, vocalist. So we decided to look further.
And Steve Algieri not coming back either.
No, I think Steve has had his day with us, you know. He gave 8 great years, and I think we pretty much toasted him. You know, I mean, it's not an easy, they're not easy shoes to fill by any means.
Sure.
And they require really strong vocalists, and so, you know, I wish that he was still here, but he's not, so we're moving on once again.
You burn them out, Neal.
My management, they keep us working.
I like that. It was earlier this year you did that European run, right?
Yeah.
And one U.S. date. What's the reaction over there versus here?
It's pretty amazing. I have to say I was very blown away by the reaction. The first time we went with Jerry a couple of years ago, and tremendous reaction. And we went back and we did some dates with Jeff, and great reaction again. It's sort of like we never worked anywhere besides the U.S., besides Hawaii once in a while and the Orient. So it was like brand new turf for us to go and explore. We all had a great time, and so we definitely plan on going back.
What'd you do in London? What was your venue there?
We played Hammersmith.
That's cool.
Brian May was there. He came back. He would just love the show. And, yeah, we played to a sold-out crowd. They were just going nuts. I wasn't expecting that from London, to tell you the truth, because it's very much, London is like the New York of the States, you know.
Sure.
Where they pretty much seen everything, and a lot of times they don't react. I didn't know what to expect. It's been so long since I played there, but they were up on their feet, and they were going nuts. And so it's a good thing.
That's cool that Brian came out, too. How long have you known him?
Brian and I go back, you know, quite a ways. From the early days of Journey, like when we did Infinity. Brian became a fan of ours then. He loved, I guess, the solo that I did in Lights. And I actually met him in Japan when Roy Thomas Baker, the producer that did that record, was in Japan at the same time we were performing there, and so was Brian. So Roy introduced me to him. He came down to the room, and he asked me how to play the solo, and he was trying to figure it out, so I showed him.
Oh, cool.
And we've been friends ever since then. So that's probably about 79? Something like that, 78, 79.
And so Brian May came down to your hotel room and really wanted to know, he wanted to watch, and what did you sit there and you played it for him, or?
Yeah, there was a guitar sitting there, and I said, I'm trying to figure out how you go down, you know, that that thing, and he was fingering it different, and I just showed him, and I go, see, it's not that hard. And he was like, I would have never figured that out if you didn't show it to me. so that was funny. But he's a really great guy, gentleman, all the way. Amazing band. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're coming with Paul Rogers.
Yeah, that live record they did with Paul is sick. If do you have that?
I don't have the DVD, but I did watch it.
Yeah, that version of All Right Now is sick. That thing is slamming with Paul. And Brian's been on the show here before. He's a wonderful guy. I like him a whole lot. He's really, really, really kind. That's cool when things like that happen. That's a story I don't think anyone's. Do you tell that story a lot? That Brian wanted to learn how to do lights and actually came to your hotel room? Is that?
I think you're the first guy I ever told it to. I don't know.
Really?
I could be wrong, but I think you're the first man I told it to. Yeah.
I love that kind of talk, brother Neal. That's good stuff. We'll hear Lights now and continue with Neal Schon of Journey after this on 105.9. Another thing that you did this one U.S. date. I was a little curious about that. Am I right? That's how the whole your year of 2007 in terms of live performances included only one U.S. date. It was the thing in Virginia, the Polo Cup or something.
Yeah, it was. Some friends of ours that we've known for a long time. They were putting on this benefit, and we decided to jump in, and it was different. Let me just put it like that. I think once we all got there, we were like, what are we doing here, It was a really strange event. But we did it. We got through it, and now we're ready to move on once again.
It wasn't as strange as some of those casinos that you were doing, was it?
Casinos are casinos. You basically do it when you're down, and you have downtime, and people get antsy in this band. They like to work, and they don't like to sit around, and so if we don't have a major tour plan, we'll do like a little under-the-radar, low-key run, and keeps our chops up, and we get to go hang with each other for a while and just keep the chops up, basically.
And you don't do the 3-hour show, though, when you're working the casino?
No, they usually don't want you to play more than an hour because they want everybody back in the casino, so it's a really easy show,
Right.
And for any diehard fan, any diehard Journey fan is not going to want to come to one of those because they want to hear us play longer. But a lot of the people that come to that are casino people, and they're there to gamble. And some people don't even know our songs. It's really strange. They buy year-round tickets in the first 2 or 3 rows, and they see everybody from Charlie Daniels to you name it. And a lot of people looking at us, like I'll play a guitar, so they're looking at me like I have 4 heads. I'm like, what is that? Is that alien guitar? What is that, Martha? I don't know.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I remember your stories about that before. When you another thing besides some of the lineup change and stuff in the band and the European tour and stuff that you did, you have had the catalog remasters come out. How involved with those were you?
Not at all.
None. No involvement at all.
That was all Steve Perry's doing, and anything that comes out that's repackaged again is usually him repackaging it and working with the label on that.
So between there was that appearance that you guys did, the Hollywood Rock Walk of Fame induction, and Steve was there. Have you guys ended up seeing each other since, or was that it?
No, it would have been great if we could, and he was truly invited, but he chose not to, and so we haven't. We haven't spoken, seen each other, or played together. As
we look around the plate of musical offerings in 2007 and stuff that looks like it's going to happen in 2008, it seems like the reunion idea got very hot this year. And before we talk about other bands that reunited, so you would say odds are when you really look at things and you think about it, the odds of you and Steve doing something again under the Journey banner, what would you say those odds are?
Well, you know what? I'm going to say what he says because this is what he always says. He says, never say never. But I don't see it happening in 2008. We've already got a lot of things in motion here. Mm-hmm. And like I said, things are feeling really solid and good.
Okay. So you wouldn't see it in 2008, but you're going to stick with what he says, never say never.
Why not?
I like that. That's the way to do it, brother. Because when you look around, and you look at all these cats, the Police, Genesis, Dio and the Sabbath Cats, VH, now it looks like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much. Have you seen, did you see the Police tour?
No, I didn't.
Would you go?
To, but I didn't see it. I heard about it. I heard pros and cons. I'm sure it was great. I think they needed some time to get going, And I heard that the ending, the shows in the middle of the tour were absolutely on fire. Where when they played in the Bay Area here, I was doing something. I was in the studio working on something. didn't make it, and the review in the paper, which doesn't mean much, was not very favorable. And so, I take those with a grain of salt. It depends on who's writing, and usually, writers get paid to write crap. And if they write anything too nice, they get fired. So,
Yeah, I saw him at Madison Square Garden. I liked it. I thought it was really good, and that was after many shows on the tour too. That was like the beginning of August.
I'm just a major fan of all the classic rock bands anyway. So I mean, those seem to be the only shows that are actually doing well. All this new stuff that's out there, it sort of just goes right by, and everybody is here and gone, and nobody talks about it. Nobody does anything, and they're not really playing big places, even if they're all over MTV. And so there's a lot to be said about bands that are classified as classic rock, as Journey is.
Oh, there is. You're absolutely, what a way of saying it, too. I second that. The conclusion of Neal Schon of Journey next, only here on 105.9. Would you go to the VH reunion, speaking of classic rock?
Absolutely. I actually can't wait to see it, I mean, Sam has always been a good friend of mine, but, Van Halen, when they first started, they actually played on our tour. We were headlining. It was Van Halen opened the show on their very first record, when their first record came out with David Lee and Michael and Alex and Eddie. And that's where we met those guys, where I met Ed, and we did quite a bit of hanging and great times. These guys were really crazy back then. I don't know how crazy they are right now. I haven't seen them in a long time, but I'm sure I'll find out when they come through town. I'm hoping the best for them,
Yeah, me too. I see they
just... The world needs it. The world needs a kick in the butt like that.
Look at speaking of the kick in the butt, look at the Zeppelin Cats. What's that all about? I mean...
Well, we're going to find out, right?
It's got to be more than one show, man. It's got to be the lead-in for the whole shooting match next year. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, I think that's pretty inevitable.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to happen, in terms of big tours. And when you think about the big tours recently, a tour that you were on, that while you had a new vocalist who was sort of just doing that tour, if you will, and not a whole lot more with you guys, it ended up being, I got to think, a huge tour for Journey, and that was the tour with Def Leppard last year.
Right. Those are a great bunch of guys, too. They're actually playing in the Bay Area here tomorrow. I'm thinking about going down and saying hello.
Your boys Styx are there, too.
Yeah, it's Styx and
Foreigner.
Yeah.
You can catch up with a lot of cats all in one hang, huh, Brother Neal?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go down for the sound check, hang out, make a bunch of trouble, and then leave.
I love it. I love that kind of talk. Did you know Huey Thomason at all?
Who?
Obviously not. That cat from the Outlaws who just died.
Oh, I heard about it. I read about it. Yeah, I didn't really know him, but, nobody wishes anything like that on anybody.
Sure. No, I was just curious because you never know who you know. You've done so many tours back then where the bills were just... What was the oddest bill that you ever went out on where you were thinking to yourself, man, who the hell ever thought to put them on the bill with us?
It wasn't an actual tour. In the early days, we played with anyone that would let us play with them. And that's the way it was, 12 months out of a year for the first 4 years. And so... we did one show with Cheech and Chong. And I have to say, that was the strangest bill ever, yeah.
I can imagine so. You ever do a thing with Fleetwood Mac?
No, we haven't played with Fleetwood Mac. Could possibly in the future, though. I heard Irving talking about something. Irving's our manager. And so we'll see what happens.
I got Mick and his new Island Rumors band at my concert this Friday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Really cool band. Carmine Apiece is out here for that, too.
Carmine, I said hello.
I will tell Carmine you said what's up. Hey, next year, Neal, you got to put this on your radar maybe. You think about Journey at the Blaisdell for my 6th anniversary. How about that?
I'd love to do that, too, and I'm actually dying to get us back over to the Crater Festival. I know that they started those up again. It's been with a different promoter, and so we have not really been asked to do it yet, but I would love to get back on to that routine of doing that every year.
That'd be
like
hot.
We used to in the old days, yeah.
Maybe you can do my party in the Crater, Neal.
Come on, why don't you be our promoter?
That's what I'm saying. It'll be...
Come on, Dave. Bring it.
I dig it. Well, I'd love to have you out here, and you've always been very good to me and been on the show a whole bunch. You remember that time that I had you in the studio? We had Cha-Cha-Cha, cater it and stuff?
Oh, yeah, that was great.
And we did the thing.
A great hang.
That was good stuff, brother. Well, I appreciate it very much over these 5 years, and I hope we can make something happen. Keep in touch whenever you got something you want to talk about or get the word out about Journey.
Yeah, when things get moving along here in another month and a half or so, we're going to be in the studio knocking out some new music. possibly some older music with new music or all new music, who knows. But, we're just busy writing right now. And definitely, you can put the word out that we are coming with new music.
I'm looking forward to it, Brother Neal. And as always, take good care of yourself. And thank you very much for being part of my 5-year anniversary week. I really do appreciate it.
Okay, Dave, you have a fun party there with Mick Fleetwood and the rest of the guys. And, have a good time, bro.
I appreciate it, dude. Thanks, Neal.
All right, Dave. Aloha, everybody. This is Neal Schon from Journey, wishing Dave Lawrence a happy 5th anniversary. Dave, you have a fun party there with Mick Fleetwood and the rest of the guys. Party on.